You know, if you want great food, you come to Bobby Van on Central Park South, and it's just across from Central Park, the most incredible landmark, and the view is spectacular. People passing the traffic, and then they stop in Bobby Van for the best food. What do you specialize in here?
We're primarily a steakhouse, but we actually, Chef Cesar does a fabulous job with all the other items, the seafood, our chicken, all those other items are great, top notch, because that's what people expect now. They expect the prime dry aged beef and also the quality of seafood to back it up.
You know, it's interesting because I was going to ask you whether you age your beef, and you just answered that, so that's really good.
Absolutely, 28 days.
Good morning. Thank you for coming to Bobby Van's Kitchen. Now we're going to go ahead and sear our porterhouse, which is the Bobby Van's Prime 28 dry age porterhouse, which we have the filet mignon on one side, the sirloin on the other side, and then look at this, how beautiful this is, and how this smells is like a nice marbling it has. The prime dry aged meat, and the smell is absolutely, the nuttiness that comes from the 28 dry age is absolutely amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and sear this meat with a lot of salt to, because we need to rest this meat, and we're gonna serve medium rare. I hope John likes medium rare, or we'll cook it depending to his taste. So we're gonna go ahead and sear this meat at this oven, which is works at 800 degrees. It's gonna sear for like 3-4 minutes per side. There you go, the meat's searing. So that's gonna take approximately 4 minutes. Look at this. I'm gonna go ahead and turn around. You see the grill marks already? Beautiful, right? We got that slices from the fillet. We're gonna go ahead and do one more slice. That's the fillet. We're gonna put it back on our dish. And then we're gonna go ahead now, next is gonna be the sirloin steak. We're gonna go ahead and cut it again. And this is absolutely beautiful. It's nice and soft. It's gonna just melt in our guest's mouth. It's gonna be nice and sizzling when it goes out. Then we have ready. We have it ready. Now we're gonna go ahead and put it back on the plate. Put it back on the plate. We're gonna add some butter. We're gonna put all the pieces out. We're gonna go ahead and put it back in the oven to cook for another medium rare. We're gonna make it medium rare for our guest John. We're gonna baste with a little butter. We're gonna go back and flush it back in the oven again. We're gonna go ahead and put back in the oven with the plate. Cook for another 3-4 minutes. Right now it's rare, it's just seared, but for any customers that comes in and ask for any temperatures, we're willing to do it from black and blue, rare, medium, medium well, and well done, whatever the customer requires. They want some sauces to go with the dish. We have bordelaise, we have béarnaise, we have peppercorn sauce. We have different kind of sauces to go along with every individual steak. Gonna go in the lower oven, ponle el más pequeño. So that's, see, medium rare? Okay. So we're getting the perfect caramelization and the perfect donuts for medium rare. We're gonna go ahead and keep cooking for another minute while we have the next plate ready. This is gonna go with a side of hash brown. So we have a beautiful hash brown, pre-made. ¿Tienes un hash brown? David, el hash brown? Yeah. We have a hash brown right here. The beautiful hash brown is gonna go together with the porterhouse for John to try it. We're basting with a little butter. Of course, this was made before the caliente, no? Before the meat was done. So we got the perfect caramelization of the meat, and it's ready to go. And that's how we serve our meat. That's the beautiful porterhouse for two. Sometimes some customers order for one. That's okay with us. Here you are. Our beautiful porterhouse, Bobby Van's porterhouse, is ready to go to John's table.
We could just make a little cosmopolitan right now. Very popular drink. Very good. And they just love the way that I make them. And I love making drinks for people because it makes them happy. And when they're happy, that means I'm happy. So come on by. I'll be looking forward to seeing you. It's all about the movement.
Chasing Wild Ass, oh, it's not what you're thinking. It's a narrative of my travel around the world. I have interspersed photos and aromatic recipes, which allows you to dream, discover, and rediscover these great destinations around the world. The title of the book came about while we were chasing jackasses in Kutch Wild Ass Sanctuary in Gujarat, India. And I thought that was a great title for the book. This is food for the soul. Not only does it allow you to dream, it's adventure, it's history, it's culinary, it's culture, with a sense of humor to spice it up. Chasing Wild Ass is a celebration of life. You have to live each day as if it's your last. Remember, my world is your world. So get up, get out, and travel!
We have a new sirloin steak here now, sir.
Beautiful.
Very good. Okay. And this side we have filet mignon.
Oh, can I have the next one? Is the next one less?
This one, ma'am, or this?
That one up there,
Right here?
right there.
This one?
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes. I'm here in Bobby Van's now, but my meals in South Africa were the equivalent of this almost every single day.
Oh my God.
Yes.
How fabulous is that?
And I'm such a meat eater that
Well, I
I
didn't
just
know about
love. Yes. I can eat steak every day.
You look like a vegetarian.
I know. Because I try not to do it too much, you know, but I love steak. Absolutely.
You know what's amazing about this is that it's so incredibly tender. It really melts in your mouth. I don't think I've had steak like this, even in
Absolutely.
Texas, where they really do steak.
Do up a steak, yeah.
But this is unbelievable.
And I love
I can-
asparagus.
Yeah, I can see why people come back to this restaurant
Absolutely.
often,
Absolutely.
because they know what they're going to get. And when you have quality, that's what it's about. It's about
Absolutely.
quality
Absolutely.
and good food. So tell me about South Africa. I'm so excited.
You know, it was so interesting. When I got off the plane, seeing so many chocolate faces, to put it that way, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And they were just happy, and I felt at home. I felt at home.
That's what Africa does for you. It's
Yeah.
an amazing thing. I remember my first trip to, where was I? To Cote d'Ivoire. And when I came back, I felt a new center. And what was so amazing was that I was telling the story to my mother, and I started crying, and she didn't understand, but it was all about the joy. And it was a whole other kind of proudness that nobody could understand unless you go to West Africa.
And that's what you see, too, amongst the people. You see such a pride
Exactly.
that you don't really feel here in America,
No.
you know?
And everybody needs to go there. I hear people
Yes.
saying, people of our color,
Yes.
say they want to go to Paris, they want to go to Europe.
And that's
Their
fine,
first-
but
their first trip should be to the continent,
Africa, exactly.
because it is such an amazing experience
Absolutely.
to be on this continent and with the people. You see black businesses, you see black whatever. People are doing things and they're very proud. And it gives you strength
Gives you a whole different sensibility
and possibilities.
because they went through a lot with apartheid.
Oh, absolutely.
They went through so much.
At
But
the
to
same
now
time.
see them at the same time that we were going through,
Exactly.
but now to see them trying to flourish, I would love to go down there and teach, have a little theater, you know.
Right.
I would just like to spend some more time there. And as I told you, I had my ladies over 50. Ladies over 50, we had our time there. We had an afternoon of possibilities. And it was just amazing. So next time I go back, then I can do my full week Act 2 Now What seminars for women over 50.
Talk about Act 2.
Act 2, let me see, where do I start with Act 2? Again, Act 2 is about possibilities. Because once a woman turns 50, a lot of times she becomes invisible.
In the corporate world?
in all worlds.
Really?
In theater, in corporate, everything, because everything is geared towards the young and the beautiful and the fresh and the. So once you become 50, it's kind of like nobody thinks you can still progress or still do anything. So that's why Act Two Now What is so important, because it takes all of those women who might have been married and got divorced and now empty nesters.
Right.
They don't know what they want to do. But you had a dream probably before you got married and before it became something else.
Mm-hmm.
So you can always go back to that dream.
Right.
It's never, ever, ever too late.
It's life only ends when you're in the box. Mm-hmm. And it really is about,
Life ends when you give up. You can't give up.
well, my theory is when you're in the box, that's when life is over. Because in life you have to keep trying and experimenting. If something isn't working, you try something else.
Absolutely.
And you keep evolving, as opposed to, what do they say, something about being another whatever. I think it's really about evolving, because what you're doing is applying whatever you've learned in the past, you're applying it to what you're doing now. And I think that really makes a lot of sense. When I think of things, even shooting a show like this, I'm thinking of design, because that's where I came from originally. So I'm thinking of how is it going to look in the end. And that's very, very important.
But unfortunately, for women over a certain age, they're not even given a chance to do even what you're doing sometimes, to explore other things and to keep exploring after 50, after 60.
But you know what? You have to make your own destination.
But I agree. But you have to be in that mindset
Absolutely.
of, oh yeah, I can still make that destination.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of women over 50 have to come to that realization. Because society doesn't allow you to really come to that once you're over 50. When I turned 50, my agent literally said to me, well, Brenda, they are going younger. And I was devastated. I'm in theater, and of course theater, Broadway and film and everything, they go with the no wrinkles.
You don't have any wrinkles, darling.
I don't. But that's because of my genetics, really. But other women, they're not blessed with this, still having all of the original parts and things like that, still functioning.
Oh, yes.
So sometimes they need that little push because society says, you're 50, oh, sorry. You got wrinkles, oh, sorry. You got gray hair, oh, sorry.
So
but now women are coming up. Now, they're loving their gray hair. They're loving, if they have hair, they're loving. I did this at 60. I said, you know what? I'm going bald. I'm just going to let it go. But it's still about taking chances and enjoying life.
Yeah.
Step out on that ledge
But
and
you look
enjoy
fabulous.
life. Thank you.
look absolutely
I feel good.
Yeah.
I feel very good. And this is amazing. Just so you know, this is amazing. Oh, this is good.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable food.
Ooh.
Oh, Bobby
And cocktail
Vans.
time.
Cocktail
Time.
Thanks for reminding me.
Yes.
And they make good cocktails here.
Oh, yeah.
When you want a good cocktail, Bobby
Come to
Vans.
Bobby Band. Yes. They don't skimp on anything,
Absolutely not.
on the important things.
And the food, the fish, the steak, the
Delicious.
vegetables, it's just unbelievable.
Delicious.
Now tell me about your over 50.
So what we're trying to do now as well is do a TV show. Called Act Two Now What, of course. But it's about helping women figure out exactly what it is they want to do. And it's kind of like, I call it The Apprentice meets Ayanna Fix My Life meets The Biggest Loser.
Wow.
I know, right? It's a lot. But it's about challenging women to figure it out for themselves and to go after it. If you don't do it now, when are you going to do it?
Exactly.
Life is going, life is moving.
And it's not promised.
Nothing is promised to anyone.
Exactly.
But you have to take 1 nanosecond at a time to get out there and make your dream happen.
Absolutely.
You know? So that's what we're
First, you
trying
got to
do
have
now.
a dream.
Happen, and we identify what the dreams are of these women. We have 10 to 15 women. We identify what their dreams are, and I have a team that does the research to see how, okay, each person can go about getting their dream, you know.
Okay.
And a good example is, say for instance, a woman has a dream of having a clothing line. There are steps that you have to take to make that happen.
Right. And a proposal. To
And
understand.
a proposal, a name of the company, incorporating, all of that. And a lot of times people say, well, that's, of course, common sense, but sometimes common sense ain't all that common.
Oh, no.
So we give you the challenge of, okay, figure out a name, figure out a logo, figure out and if you don't figure it out, kind of, sort of, you're out of
on
there.
the back burner.
You're on the back
But also,
burner.
I think what's important is making a list
Yes,
and also following up on this list.
absolutely.
For instance, one of the things I do at the beginning of the year, I say, okay, these are the places I'd like to go. And in the course of the year, some of those places I get to, some of them I don't. But
if you
I
didn't
can
have
put
the
it-
list,
Yeah.
you wouldn't get anywhere.
Exactly. Plus, what happens is I put them on the next list.
Yep.
And then at some point it happens and it's magic.
Absolutely.
Life is magic.
Absolutely.
You know.
And we have to remember that.
Yeah.
After 50.
Absolutely.
Life is magic.
But this is
Magical.
one of the seminars that you did when you were in South Africa about women over 50.
They had the best time. Because sometimes they just have to maybe get a little permission to go back to that girl that they were before. You're still that girl. You're still that young girl. That girl had dreams, that, you know, goals. So sometimes you get lost along the way of helping everyone else.
Exactly.
You know, you do for your husband, you do for your kids, you do for your church, you do for your, and you forget about yourself.
It's
That
unfortunate.
you still like being sexy, you still like, you know, flirting, you still like all of that. And a lot of times we forget that.
And you know, I think in marriages, what happens is it gets stale.
Yes.
And they need to renew all of this.
Yes.
It's like a lot of people go and renew their vows.
Yes.
Or it's all about, you know, the exploration of maybe something sexual, that some desire that sort of stimulates and makes the relationship new again.
Absolutely. I have a good friend who's one of my team members. Her name is Allison. She and her husband have been married forever. But the way they play with each other still, and she wears her pumps and, you know, it keeps it alive.
Only her pumps? You're not telling.
You're bad. Cocktail time.
Yeah, cocktail time.
You're bad.
I like that.
I think we've come up with something. Cocktail time. But yeah, you sometimes wives forget that, sometimes husbands forget that.
They take
They
advantage.
take advantage of, yes.
Well, take for granted, I think.
Yes.
That's the word.
Yes.
Yeah. And you can't take it.
Take for granted
no,
anything.
No, you have to really. You have to live in the moment, and you have to think of the other person, and consider, and
Absolutely.
also lots of compromises. But you make the relationship work.
Yeah.
And you know, it's unfortunate nowadays. So many people are getting divorced all the time, and whatever. And the courts are making all the money, and the lawyers. But what about working it out so that you can have a steady relationship?
Absolutely, because no one is perfect.
Yeah,
No
exactly.
one is perfect at all. I'm not perfect, though you may think I am.
I think you are.
I'm,
Cocktail time.
uh-oh.
You are bad.
I got it from you. Oh, that's funny. So now we're going to have to get like champagne glasses or glasses that say cocktail time.
Yes. I think it's wonderful.
Martini glasses.
Exactly. You have a new show. You're going back to the ship.
Yes. I'm going back to Norwegian Cruise Line to do After Midnight,
Is it The Escape?
Escape, and to do my own cabaret, my one-woman show called Act 2 Now What? Okay, okay, give it a rest, right? But I believe in that. I really do. I'm living it. You know, I've had a hard time trying to pull
And you've
myself
had a
back
good
together,
time.
and I've had a good time. But trying to keep on that as they call it, the path of least resistance, and
And keeping your head up.
keep your head up. You have to,
Yeah.
no matter what.
Well, life isn't just one plane.
No.
It's a lot. It's like a ballet, and it's a mountains
Absolutely.
and whatever. But the point is, you have to endure it,
Have to keep
and that
going.
makes you a better person.
Yep. Absolutely.
I remember many years ago when things weren't going very well, and I, for the first time, looked in the mirror, really looked eye to eye, and it changed my life. And I said, that will never happen again, because I was so focused. And I think the experience of going to West Africa pulled it all together. And it's like, you can't insult me because I know who I am.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Once you learn who you are and you're okay with who you are, nothing can really touch you.
Exactly.
And it doesn't mean that you still won't have ups and downs, but it means that you know how to deal with them better.
Exactly.
And you know that there's going to be an upcoming soon, because everything comes full circle.
Absolutely.
So just hold on. Hold on and have cocktail time if you have to.
Cocktail time. I love it.
But it gets better. Just take that deep breath. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day about that. If you can, take that deep breath and just go, okay, this is what it is now, but that's not how it's going to be forever.
Oh no.
It's going to come back around, And forgive. Learn to forgive. You might not forget it, but you can forgive it.
Well, it's funny about forgetting. I'm always forgetting. Like someone I don't like, a friend of mine says, you were talking like they was your best friend. I said,
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for me it was such a relief because I never think about it.
Absolutely. Because when you hold on to all of that stuff, it causes wrinkles.
And you don't have any.
But you can't hold on to that.
Right.
It's just not worth it.
Exactly.
It's just not worth it. And make sure you take yourself out of the company of people who are negative
Oh yes.
all the time.
Oh yeah.
I've lost some good friends because I just said to myself, I'm not going to do that to myself. I'm going to be over here. I'm going to take my days one nanosecond at a time. I don't need to hear your negativity over and over and
God,
rehashing and can't do it. Can't do it. And sometimes it's even family members that you have to do that to. That you just have to go, whoa, no.
Escape.
Escape.
On Norwegian.
That's right. Norwegian Cruise Lines escape. But it's life or death. You really have to look at it that way. It's a life or death situation, and it's your life or your death.
It's a very strange thing, but you have to know who you are and what you want in life and go after it. It's a lesson. And a lot of people don't have that lesson, but it's an important thing. I've had people say to me that, I can't remember the word because I don't want to. However, I say, no, I evolved from one thing to another because you apply whatever you learned before.
You have to evolve.
Exactly.
You have to. If you don't evolve, you dissolve.
Yeah,
You just dissolve into nothing.
exactly.
The
most wonderful thing is, not only meeting you, but just sharing great time with you. And I know from our first interview how wonderful that was. And this has been an incredible experience. And
I thank you for this.
it's just so exciting to, share these moments with you. And I look forward to it.
Absolutely.
And lots of luck with your after 50,
Yes.
back to South Africa, South Africa,
South Africa. Yeah, yes.
and all the other wonderful things you're doing.
Thank you.
And your stopovers in London and visiting friends. And
High tea in London.
yes, with the Queen.
Yeah. With a queen.
That's a different one.
There we go. Oh, sorry.
That's funny.
Beautiful looking carrot cake, sir.
That is gorgeous. It looks like my birthday. This is perfect. Do you like carrot cake? Mm-hmm. Like to taste it? Mm-hmm. No? Is the creme brulee good?
You want to taste it?
I gotta watch my boys' figure. Cocktail time.
Cocktail time. Oh my God.
Fantastic.
Ooh, I'm so glad I can go home
And
and go to
rest.
sleep.
Reminds me of years ago, I was at my cousin's house. She'd make this fabulous dinner. I'd eat it. Then I go to sleep. Then I wake up and eat again.
Eat some more.
Because it was like so unbelievable.
That's why I love Thanksgiving. That's the holiday where you eat, take a nap, wake up, eat again, clean up a little, eat again.
Oh yeah. It's amazing.
This is so creamy.
I think everything here at Bobby Van is fabulous.
Perfect.
And you know what I like about this? The fact it's a thin slice rather than this big. You know, this is the kind of thing you'd have after dinner. So it's
And you
perfect.
can enjoy it. You're not overwhelmed by this big hunk of cake.
You have to taste this.
Nope.
Please, please, you gotta taste
Because this on my palate right now,
Oh, okay.
it's perfect.
Oops. Cocktail time.
Oh, to cleanse the palate.
Love it, love it, love
Oh
it.
my God. Cheers.
What could be better than this?
Wow.
You know where I got that expression from? A friend in Brazil, Marion.
That's where I want to go.
Oh, Brazil is amazing.
Yeah. Oh.
Absolutely amazing. It brings out the essence of life, I think, because there's so many avenues. You know, it's like 5th Avenue, 6th Avenue, 7th Avenue, all wrapped into one. And you know what I said about the Brazilians? They are feijoada, because feijoada is a national dish which is a combination of pork and beans and all that sort of stuff together. They mix it all together. So all these races are combined. The Europeans, the Africans, the Spaniards. It's a whole thing that, and the Indians. It's amazing.
And they're beautiful people.
Oh yes.
Just beautiful.
You know what I originally said in my book about the Brazilians? I said that, first of all, they're beautiful. After all, they invented the string bikini.
Yes.
So what? But so what if they sound like steam heat? I just want to say that this has been an incredible experience here at Bobby Van with Brenda Braxton and everyone who's shared their food, their cuisine, the whole experience. Cocktail time.
Cocktail time. Yes.
What an experience.
Wonderful.
Bobby Van, everybody's got to come because it's extraordinary. The steaks, the fish, the vegetables, the potatoes, everything is just exquisite. Love it, love it, love it.
Yes.
Until next week, I'm Jon Haggins, Taste of New York. So long for now.